This is proven when Andrew's attack is deflected, leaving him open, but the others know that he won't back down. He pushes even harder, as no matter the hardship or the difficulties, he always stood back up to fulfill his dream. So compared to what he went through, this is nothing. His guard always knew he was talented. He was just hidden because those around him are monsters. Everyone cheers for him, and he finally gets a proper greeting into Enkrid's squad of lunatics. He exclaims victory in front of the Aspen, noting that his are all ripe now, causing a bunch of reactions, with even Enkrid laughing. Krace expected this to happen. Things worked perfectly in their favor, it seems like. The commander takes this opportunity to summon the border guards from behind, who completely take the Aspen force by surprise. And while they are doing that, the commander orders the archers to fire. The tides are turning. Try as they might, the ones who win in the end are those who fight better. On the Aspen side, the Greyhound Company leader confirms that preparations are complete, so they can move now. The Aspen soldiers retreat, with Krace specifically wondering why they are running, and the commander is confused too. He tells everyone to hold, as clearly, these bastards are planning something. Back at their camp, the Greyhound Company commander joins their meeting after giving a group the word. He confirms as such to his commander, but they cannot be seen just yet, so they are standing by far away. The commander notes that these Norelia bastards are always the same, striking with the border guards and breaking through with heavy infantry. That's their entire strategy, but Abner's plans are different. He said that Knights proved well enough that a small elite force controls the entire battlefield, but that small elite force does not have to be Knights. It will be them who will win this battle, and this war. 2 days pass, and Krace is confused. They've been on standby ever since. They thought that there would be another battle soon, but this feels too calm. There are 2 things Aspen can do now: fall back, or bring in an asymmetric force. The commander himself said that he was prepared for another spellslinger, and they did not find anything, despite doubling the scouting party. What are those bastards thinking? As he thinks, the ferry commander comes around and asks Encrid if he's okay right now. He wonders why she's here, but she feels obliged to inspect her own troops. Although no other company commander does that, Encrid feels like he can act like he's healed now, so he should be good enough for a duel. Ragna asks if he's ready, and Encrid tells him not to go easy on him because of his injury. There is no need for that from now on. Ragna wasn't going to do that anyway, and charges in, clashing blades with Encrid. He is amazed by Ragna's swordmanship. It's beautiful compared to his unkempt style. However, that is what he has been building up until now, the techniques he has absorbed. He dashes with his blade in the ground and smashes the dirt into Ragna, who recognizes this as Valentine's sword. But Encrid's not done. He uses Ragna's heavy sword style before unleashing his other blade, almost taking Ragna's head off. He is impressed, and Encrid reveals that this is the path he has chosen. Ragna understands, but even so, he has to push further, as this battle is not done just yet. As they continue to battle, Rem can't believe what he's losing out on, just because he lost a damn bet. Jackson thinks that he doesn't like heading out to fight, but against Encrid, perhaps it's different. He stops this way of thinking, and Auden is impressed too. Perhaps next time, he will break a few of his joints, although last time, he almost sent him to the Lord. Krace can't believe that these lunatics are still so out of their minds. The ferry commander sees them as kids waiting to play. That lazy soldier also shows motivation only in front of Encrid. Why? He has a weird ability to attract people, which includes her. She joins in, but Rem can't take the waiting anymore, so he screams at the ferry commander to scram, as he won't hold back if she skips the line. She wonders if this is mutiny, and Encrid thinks that they are all strong. They are not using their full strength now, but he can see it now, their unbridled hunger for victory. The day he returned from the recon mission in the tall grass, these faces were what he swore to get out of them. He calls them all forward, as he won't get tired before he fights all of them. Night falls, and Encrid is dead tired, not even washing up. Christ calls them all brutes for fighting so many times. He barely got better, and they bashed him again and again. As they argue, Encrid falls fast asleep, ending up in a dream, which confuses him at first, but then he sees something in front, him, as a mercenary, when they fought the Harpies. But besides them, he also spots the bastard that let them out to die. Encrid experiences the fate of his comrades all over again. They were foul-mannered, but full of heart. This mercenary band took him in when he was just a weakling. They were kind, and accepted him without prejudice, except one bastard, the one that attacked at the same time as the Harpies. With the distraction of their boss's death, one gets grabbed and another tried to run, but the traitor took care of him. He was the strongest in this mercenary band, and used his strength to wipe out his friends. He advised Encrid not to try and run away, as he has to die here too. Encrid asked why, so the traitor explained that he got a better offer than sticking with some pathetic country bumpkins like them, and it's cleaner to wipe them out, no loose ends and all. Besides, They pissed him off quite a bit with their comradeship plays. Upon spitting on one of their heads, Enkrid charged in, but the traitor easily put him to the ground and began choking him. He wanted to let him go. After all, leaving someone like him alive would not change a single thing. Enkrid began to hate his weakness. Watching his comrades die helplessly was enough to bear, but what tormented him was the fact that he lived thanks to the charity of maniacs. He knew that wasting his life for revenge would be playing into that bastard's plan. He buried the grief of losing his comrades deep in his heart and moved forward toward his dream. Even so, if he only had the strength he has now. In this nightmare, the traitor turns around and goes for his very soul. But something makes this entire scene disappear into serenity, and that something is Esther. He is a man who needs a lot of looking after. At the rear base, she used all her strength to drain his fatigue, but he was too exhausted, and she couldn't do much. She will not make that mistake again. In the morning, the battle horn sounds, with Rem noting that the Aspen bastards are finally crawling under their rocks. It's time to take some heads. Before Encrid leaves, he looks at Esther, as that voice that ended his dream reminded him of her, so he pets her gently, telling her to guard the camp. Rem hopes they brought something interesting, and Encrid agrees, as he's eager to see what kind of wall he will face next. Unfortunately, the frontline soldiers are not as eager when they see what they are up against, a mighty giant. The archers immediately fire, but the arrows break on the beast's skin, with even Encrid surprised to see a giant here. With one fell swoop of his mace, he takes out 20 men, with the others left alive freezing up in fear. The giant smiles, making Encrid think of the non-human races living on this continent. Frogs are simple, driven by dreams and desires, and so are the elves, who only care for nature. Dwarves obsess over metal, and beastkin prioritize reproducing above everything. Dragonkin are the strangest, forever walking the earth alone, and giants are intoxicated with the act of killing. They love the violence carried out through their bodies. That is why they carry the moniker, Beasts of Red Blood. Jackson points out that they are attacking from the other side too. A bunch of assassins have begun talking their men down, and it's not much better on the other side. Krace is in full panic mode. If they don't stop them, they will be surrounded and killed. Encrid notes that they just have to stop them, making Krace wonder how he's so calm, but the ferry commander thinks so too. It seems someone from their side is already on the left, so she'll be heading there. She asks Encrid for a blessing kiss for luck, but he refuses, making her call him cold. With the left taken, it only leaves the giants in the front and on the right side. Rem is up next, going in front and telling Encrid to watch carefully, as he might learn something. Encrid is curious about what he's planning to do, especially in a situation like this. Rem keeps moving forward, and a feeling awakens inside of him, just like when he first stood on the battlefield. Even without the heart of the beast, he never even reacted to axes coming for his head. The reason he decided to train the heart of the beast is that it does have its uses. With its activation, blood begins rushing through him, sending him into a frenzy. The other soldiers begin screaming and shouting the retreat, just as the giant is about to take them all out. But Rem charges in just in time, blocking the giant's blow relatively easily, considering the size difference. His blood vessels are expanding, and his muscles become even more pumped, increasing their density. This technique, which begins from the heart, boosts the entire body, allowing him the strength of a superhuman and the courage of a fool. One of his axes breaks as he pushes the giant back, who immediately tries to attack him again. But the soldiers are shocked to see that Rem is still charging in with the same smile on his face. The giant becomes angered, allowing Rem to climb on top of him and give a deadly blow to the side of his head. The giant flails his club around, making Rem go down. What's worse is that his other axe broke too, but suddenly, a spear flies his way, which he catches. The soldier who did this has only one request for him, to win against this thing. Rem is pleased, as this type of courage is not bad at all. The soldiers charge in too, throwing their spears at the giant to keep Rem supplied. Encrid is pleasantly surprised. This bastard is fighting the giant on a strength advantage. To have the strength unreachable by normal humans, perhaps that is what he will be going to attain next. Ragna has honestly seen enough of this, as it seems like Rem is just toying with the giant now. Krace appears too, and explains that the company's commanding officer has left, and Rem is dealing with the middle giant. If they take care of the right flank, they can take the win from the Aspens. Encrid agrees, but it seems like the other squads are off doing their own thing. So he asks Ragna what he will do. Ragna wants to go with him, as watching has gotten pretty boring. Encrid curbs his excitement, as first, he has to win this battle. On the right, Vengeance is actively losing a duel, with one of his men advising him to stop, but he refuses. The man who challenged him finds it amusing that he refuses to die, but how long is he going to last anyway? before he can strike vengeance, Encrid charges in and deflects the attack, noting how horrible he looks. Vengeance tells him to shut it. These are but flesh wounds. As he hears Encrid's name, the man lets down his cloak and reveals himself, shocking Encrid. This is the man who almost took his life, who took his squad out, Ensi. Ragna asks if he knows this creep, but Encrid could not forget him if he tried. In the past, he wouldn't have been able to deny that they were comrades because he was weak, but that's not the case anymore. Rather than this bastard, who kills his own comrades, he's going to call those who risked their lives to protect him his true friends. Encrid does remember his name. Was it something along the lines of little shit? Oh wait, that was his nickname. His actual name was Dumbass, wasn't it? Ensi charges in angrily, calling Encrid a weak piece of trash. Encrid just nonchalantly blocks his blade and notes that he was not able to do this when they parted ways. But now, he is the weak one, and he will avenge his friends. Ensi understands. Revenge, huh? He was wondering how such a weakling survived, but that hatred must have pushed him. Christ can't believe that he got into a fight almost instantly, and Ragna just silently watches. Ensi's squad thinks that he's going to die. All of them working together weren't able to even graze Ensi. A mere soldier could not hope to do it either. Judging by their stances, Ragna surmises that they have all learned the murderous blades. It's a skill built through real experience, and they seem to have learned it solely for the thrill of the kill it gives. Ensi notes that he continued to live his life, while he only harbored thoughts of revenge. It just so happens that a lordship in Aspen has been promised to him once they are victorious here, so he's going to climb so high that even if he survives this, he won't be able to touch him anymore. Encrid doesn't seem to care, prompting Ensi to charge in angrily, but Encrid just dodges. He knows what this blade is, a flexible sword, sharp as a needle. This is the Eastern Chi blade. Encrid readies his weapon, remembering what this bastard said and what he did. Ensi continues charging in, his blade flailing around, making Krace scared, as he cannot anticipate that sword path at all. Encrid is not too worried though, as Ragna already taught him how to fight this style. He charges in despite the incoming blade, going low enough to dodge it. This leaves Ensi completely open, and Ragna notes that no matter how strong those who train in the murderous blade are, if they do not think on their actions, they will always be vulnerable. Encrid has just abused that, and hit Ensi directly in the back. He wants to correct what he said, as he is nowhere near important enough to make killing him his life goal. He's just a stepping stone. Encrid completely slashes him, thinking that the Encrid who watched his comrades die has disappeared, and with this, he should no longer haunt his dreams. He cannot hear the dead, but he hopes his true friends enjoyed this spectacle. Ragna moves in, as he wants to stretch his legs out a bit. One of Ensi's men comes forward, noting that he will not be enough to face all of them, but in response, Ragna just decapitates him with ease, and wonders if he said something. The others charge in, but Ragna dodges the first guy before decapitating him, and then killing the other with his rebound motion. The last one that charged in can only watch as Ragna takes his life. Encrid is awestruck. He found an advantageous position in only 3 steps and ended them all with clean movements. Extremely impressive. When they put their minds to it, his squad really is the strongest. The rest charge in, adamant on taking his life, but Ragna ignores them and tells Encrid to pay attention, as this is what he will have to learn in the future. Ragna bends down, letting his sword fall on his body as he takes in a deep breath. At a pinpoint moment, he dashes at an incredible speed, taking out the men who charge in with a single strike. At this moment, Encrid saw a new wall flash before his eyes, a dominating yet minimal swordplay. Ragna thought about what to name this technique for a long time and came down to one name: Scission. Encrid wants to be impressed, but that is kind of weak for such a technique. The Aspen men continue their charge in other places, as they are confident because of the giants joining them. But as they do so, Auden rushes in, taking their weapons away instantly. This makes them wonder when Nerelia got a giant of their own, as this is clearly no human. Auden asks what they are talking about. He's just an ordinary human, just like everyone else. The others don't believe him, but he moves on, noting that he will give them the time to leave this place. He starts counting down from 5, slowly walking forwards. But the Aspen soldiers refuse to give up. Even if big, he is only one man, and cannot survive the tip of a spear. Auden fulfills his promise and finishes his countdown before planting his feet deep into the ground and charging in, leaving nothing but dead men behind. On this day, he will send them all to the Lord. The Aspen soldiers' morale is completely gone, and they can only scream as Auden continues his assault, although he seems to be enjoying it a little bit too much, judging by his expression. The fairies are a traditional sort, and traditionally they live together in clans inside their closed forests. They, however, have changed with the times, and some fairies traded their years for Krona by either becoming mercenaries or enlisting in an army. The Aspen Fairy tells the fairy commander that he won't hunt her down if she runs now, but she feels like she should be the one saying that. The Aspen Fairy recognizes her blade, Nydear, a leaf blade, but he wonders if it's stronger than his needle blade. Within a fraction of a second, they clash blades, moving at a speed many other races could not achieve. Unfortunately for the Aspen Fairy, the fairy commander is faster than he, and much more skilled in terms of combat. She attempts to strike from behind, barely giving him time to deflect her attack. But when he does, he grabs her neck and tells everyone else to jump in. Unfortunately, all of his men are either dead or still dying, as Jackson has taken care of them all with relative ease. Even if they are fairies, they cannot overcome pure skill. The fairy commander understands. The plan was to distract her with someone of her own race, and then have her circled. But alas, the plan did not work. She kills the Aspen Fairy, and asks Jackson if he's fine with leaving his leader behind. But he notes that if he were the type to die in such a place, he would have done so a long time ago. She notes that he really trusts Encrid, but he just ignores that comment and notes that the tide is turning. She agrees. Unlike the old battalion commander, who was like a sprouting vegetable, Marcus is a commander who knows his way around a fight. He will definitely not miss this chance. He forwards the turtle infantry, and seeing the heavily armored soldiers, the Aspen soldiers sign the retreat, but Andrew and his crew charge in, with the Aspen soldiers recognizing him as one of the madmen. Andrew's bodyguard is shocked to see him act just like Rem. It seems that he rubbed on him quite heavily. They say that the spring wind carries magic with it, and right now, it's blowing through this battlefield too. This feels like a spring wind that leads the way for new beginnings. Marcus tells everyone that the enemy commander is routing, and they will send the border guard to finish them off for good. They broke through the dagger the enemy hid, and completely turned the battle on them. That crazy squad did it all on their own. Crace knows that if this were the old squad, they wouldn't have charged in like this, but Encrid has influenced everyone and dominated the battlefield. The fairy commander is glad that everyone is drunk on the spring winds, and Marcus tells everyone to raise their voices for the heroes of this battlefield, the madmen. As they cheer, Crace notes that this nickname is kind of weird, but as long as the captain is happy, then he's fine with it. As the Aspen commander runs away, he thinks that Abner's plan was not at fault. They just did not expect there to be someone strong enough to defeat a giant. The Greyhound's commander thinks it was all Encrid's fault, as he was the one who kept getting in their way since the last battle, and even took down Mitch. Suddenly his horse is hit and he falls on the ground, but still tells the commander to keep going, as this is his only chance to escape the border guards. Sure enough, they charge in feverishly, with the commander of the border guard putting the Greyhound commander down. In a normal battle, they are equals, but they must be tired from all that fighting, right? The rest of the Aspen men are taken, with the Greyhound commander knowing they don't have the men to fight these bastards. Even the commander is not safe, as he is taken out while distracted. Seeing this, the Greyhound commander makes an opening for himself and retreats with his remaining men. The border guard wonders if they should give chase, but they decide against it, as those guys are nothing but a bunch of stray dogs now. This battle was a massive victory over the Aspens, but in the grand scheme of things, it was only a tiny piece of this gigantic puzzle. The proper all-out fight still awaited them in the tall grass fields. Crace tells Encrid that they will move their base tomorrow, as they are going to wait near the crossguard and pressure the Aspens further. Encrid thinks that there is no booze or party to celebrate their victory, but there are rewards for those who contributed. Rem is just glad that they don't have to help with moving as a bonus. It's all thanks to him defeating that giant. The others begin bragging too, about how many people they defeated, making him scream at them to not butt in. Jackson calls them a bunch of fools, prompting Encrid to step in. If they want to fight, they can duel him. Andrew is just glad to have experienced this, as the thrill he felt as the lunatics spread out on the battlefield was amazing. Rem tells him that he's still a virgin though, prompting them to begin fighting again, but Encrid ignores them this time, and stares at Henry, who seems deep in thought. He approaches and asks what he's thinking about, marrying that widower florist. From what he heard in the grass field, Henry's dream is to marry that widowed florist, but he will not be able to achieve that while still in the army. He asks if he wishes to return, and Henry admits it. How could he just return though, when everyone else is fighting? Encrid recognizes that they've avoided death multiple times thanks to his experience as a hunter. They only escaped because of him in the grass fields, and also knew of those snakes because of him. With this in mind, he gets up and thinks that he dreams of his blade. He is happy here, but he will not let this man waste his dreams away. The first thing the next morning, the ferry commander grants Henry a special discharge, and he will get on the wagon with the injured. He's confused, but the ferry commander just notes that he should thank his platoon commander. Rem wonders where he's going as he packs up, and Auden prays for his safe travels, while Ragna is jealous of him discharging, as he will probably be able to sleep a lot more. Christ just notes that he did really well among these lunatics, and Andrew wishes him a safe journey. Enkrid awaits him outside and thinks that, unlike Andrew and Mac, who integrated well, Henry never did fit in. He bet he felt like an outcast too, since he is not suited for battle. He taps Henry on the shoulder and hopes that he will win her over. Henry bows down one final time and thanks him for everything. As he leaves, the ferry commander approaches Enkrid and asks if he saw Henry off. Enkrid confirms as such and thanks her for accepting his request. The ferry commander says it's a small thing to do for her fiancé, but when should they have their betrothal? Enkrid notes that it will be in about 10 years, which she can wait, but she's not into older men. Enkrid decides to clap back, noting that if they are talking about preferences, he's not into fairies either. This makes her visibly distraught, as he wonders if he doesn't know that words hurt people. Enkrid knows that she's not hurt, and she lets it go for now, because someone wants to meet him. More specifically, Marcus is looking for him. As they walk, Enkrid remembers what Christ told him, that due to his countless achievements, like that infiltration mission and even this battlefield, the battalion commander might try to scout him soon. Marcus asks if he likes tea, and if he would like a cup, but Enkrid gently refuses. Marcus notes that he must have been busy with the camp relocation, so he hopes he didn't call him for nothing. Enkrid explains that he was free, since he has no luggage to pack, making Marcus laugh, as he did not know he was capable of flattery. He achieved something of remarkable merit on the battlefield yesterday. Enkrid is surprised he even called his direct superior here for a scouting offer. That's a declaration to let him transfer completely without any noise, but that won't change his answer. Marcus sees how calm he is, and guesses he already knows why he is here. So what is his answer? Enkrid refuses, which Marcus expected, since he heard him refusing a lot of commanders in the past, but he should know that his offer is much more potent than the other. Enkrid explains that he has a dream, and that dream is to become a legendary knight. Marcus is taken aback, as this is a person with a dream that shines brightly. He too was like this in the past, in the days when he wanted to become a sword for the royal family. As time passed though, he gradually compromised with reality, and now, his life is dull, as he has settled into the present. A stagnant heart like his forgets its dream, and becomes a shackle for those moving forward, so he does not have the right to command this young man. With this in mind, he sets Enkrid off, and asks the ferry commander what she thinks about his dream. She can't say, as his future is his to decide. Marcus never liked the excessive honesty fairies had, but he respects Enkrid for his dream, as he too will move towards something new. Norelia is a centralized state, but power was usurped by the nobles, and they gained dominance. He too belongs to a noble faction, but perhaps it's time for him to reawaken that dream that he had forgotten. The relocation that began at dawn only ended around sunset, as everyone set up camp and reorganized the base again. Rem is glad he has no chores, but this is getting pretty boring. Auden notes that this is the perfect time for training. Muscles only grow when one keeps putting them under strain after all. Ragna perks up too, noting that Enkrid has to train swordsmanship too, especially since he's using 2 swords now. Jackson notes that senses are important too, but Enkrid wonders if talking from that far away counts as training too. Rem tells them to get lost, as Enkrid remembers the brute force he showed. Before he can finish, the ferry commander arrives and tells them that they are standing in the way of their barracks. So would they be so kind as to get the hell out? After getting kicked out, Rem blames it on Auden because he's too easy to notice. Andrew doesn't know why they got dragged into this when they did nothing, but Encrid is the only one who can deal with them, and probably the least lunatic. Crace tells him that he's just as crazy, making Andrew wonder if this doesn't count as insubordination. Crace looks around and sees some structures, noting that perhaps this was an enemy camp. He looks around, as during war, soldiers usually hide valuables around, and whoever finds it keeps it. Encrid asks how he knows where they hid it, but Crace is just using his head. If he were a soldier, where would he hide treasure? It has to be recognizable, as even if the camp is destroyed, he could still retrieve it. Encrid gets it. This means that it will be easy to spot at a glance. Crace finds these tree roots unique. From the traces of the barracks, it seems like a convenient spot to camp, meaning it's a good hiding place. Encrid thinks that Crace's brain works really well, even on the battlefield. He assesses the situation immediately and predicts what happens. He says that he learned it out of sheer instinct, but he's better than most strategists out there. Still, his dream is just to open a noblewoman's tea shop, and he's quite obsessed with gold too. Crace finds a map and thinks that it's something precious, but Rem notes that he's the only one who's excited. He really is a dumbass sometimes. Encrid looks at the sky and thinks that there's still some time before night falls, and they will need to kill time until the barracks are built. Encrid asks what he was talking about earlier, and Rem continues, as he was talking about the heart of brute strength. Just as the name suggests, It grants strength beyond human limits. It's a secret art he developed himself. This is a technique that puts the heart into overload, and if done wrong, it can kill the user. Encrid doesn't mind, as death never stopped him. Rem thinks that this guy is like a beast constantly hunting, making him wonder what he will become in the future. He grabs his hand and accepts his bravery. He will make sure his heart will blow away, and that's exactly what Encrid wants. Rem imparts wisdom to Encrid, explaining that while humans can naturally draw upon superhuman strength in a pinch, a heart of the superhuman allows them to consciously control and access that power. He emphasizes that concentration and senses are the key to unlocking this ability. He looks down on his protege with a fierce pride, a complex mix of sternness and confidence. He trusts his abilities, forged through training under the others. With a calm and steady gaze, Rem offers Encrid an unsettling piece of advice. The key to harnessing the heart of the superhuman is to have faith, and to metaphorically blow up one's heart without letting it burst. Rem is holding Encrid's arm, his heart visibly pounding with incredible force. Encrid's focused gaze falls upon their entwined hands, keenly feeling his master's accelerated heartbeat with his fingertips, as if absorbing the very power he is meant to emulate. An ominous stillness descends as Rem cautions Encrid to proceed cautiously, explaining that he is only demonstrating a fraction of his power. A sharp look at Rem's face reveals his solemn expression as he delivers a dire warning. Failure to proceed slowly will cause Encrid's heart to burst, resulting in his immediate death. In an exhilarating moment of understanding, Encrid's eyes widen as he finally grasps the immense challenge before him. With newfound determination, he resolves to blow up his own heart, just as his master has, while the others silently observe from a distance, their faces a mixture of expectation and concern. With a wry grin that quickly shifts to a look of mild disappointment, Rem mutters that his worries were indeed useless. His expression hardens as he observes Encrid, realizing with a sigh that his protege is currently making no progress in replicating the difficult technique. In this critical moment, Rem's frustration mounts as he realizes Encrid is repeating a past pattern, advancing with incredible speed, only to hit a sudden wall. He confronts Encrid, believing that he is holding back deliberately. While a baffled Encrid looks on, the others share a knowing glance, silently concurring with Rem's frustration. They acknowledge Encrid's peculiar habit of sudden and inexplicable stagnation, as it has happened many times before. Encrid's face displays a portrait of intense bewilderment as he questions the fundamental nature of the task. This moment of profound doubt instantly triggers an explosive reaction from Rem, whose entire face contorts into a furious, frustrated mask. Night falls, and they continue to attempt to do the technique until the sun rises. With the wide, sunlit expanse of the training ground behind them, a furious Rem grabs Encrid by the collar, his rage finally boiling over. He harshly berates his protege, demanding to know what he is doing and questioning if he is even making a genuine effort to succeed. As night falls over the camp, Rem's profound frustration finally reaches its breaking point. In a final, exasperated act, he raises his hands in front of Encrid, who is already on his knees, roaring a command for him to do it now, before giving up on the training for the evening and going to sleep. Within the subdued glow of the lamp-lit tent, a frustrated and exhausted Rem sits alone on his bed, his thoughts consumed by the day's training. Suddenly, Krace inquires about the boss's whereabouts, only to be told that the leader is apparently preparing to swing his sword, like he always does. Jackson sits comfortably on a bed, idly toying with a wicked-looking dagger, as he dismissively offers his own perspective on the situation. He bluntly suggests that Encrid's lack of progress is due to the uselessness of Rem's specific skill, and casually proposes that it would be more effective if he were to assume responsibility for his training. With a look of utter contempt and simmering fury, Rem looks down on his fellow mentor, his face a hard mask of simmering rage. He delivers a brutal, terse warning, demanding that they wait for their turn to speak, and not to interfere with his methods, more bluntly, to shut the hell up. Lying nonchalantly on a bed in their shared tent, Ragna delivers a cutting insult to the defeated and weary Rem, who sits with his back to the viewer. He plainly states that if motivation isn't the issue, then the problem must be the teacher, while an enraged Rem shoots back with an angry and personal retort, calling him a bum. Rem's mind wanders, consumed by his own lingering frustrations, as he recalls the origins of his signature technique. He reflects on how he created the heart of the Superman by meticulously modifying the skills of his tribe, intending for a person to first get a feel for the power with a special spell, before eventually learning to control it entirely on their own. Lying on his bed, Rem's mind continues to race with mounting frustration, as he desperately thinks that no matter what he tries, Encrid just won't grasp the concept. He finds himself reflecting on a grim past, recalling that even the most formidable spellcasters from his own village could not master the skill on their first attempt without nearly dying in the process. Reclining on his bed, Rem's mind races with a grim reflection on how the Heart of the Beast user took an agonizingly long time to master their skill. He thinks it's time to give up entirely if there is no hope left to continue. He shifts in his bed at the thought, but outside, as he's swinging his blade, Encrid looks more determined than ever. The next day, Rem resumes his difficult teaching of Encrid, as the other mentors gather around, silently observing the renewed attempt. The training focuses on his bandaged arm, its surface throbbing with a powerful rhythmic beat. With a weary sigh of exasperation, Rem decides to end the frustrating training for the day, telling Encrid that it is simply not going to happen yet. Suddenly, though, Encrid grabs his hand, which clenches into a resolute fist as he powerfully demands more, his face radiating unshakable determination as he commands Rem to keep going. A defeated Rem can only stare back, acknowledging his protege's efforts while thinking there is no point in continuing. With a furious expression and a ferocious grin, Encrid demands that Rem intensify the training to stimulate his heart even more powerfully. Rem is left utterly astonished and speechless by his protege's unbelievable command. With a newfound authority, Rem confronts Encrid, delivering a grave warning that his heart could burst if he isn't more gentle. He is left astonished by the sudden audacity, questioning whether he's being asked to kill him. Encrid's face fills with a fierce and desperate resolve as he commands Rem to proceed with the training without hesitation. Rem's expression is one of utter astonishment, as if he cannot comprehend the immense resolve of the man in front of him. Rem's mind races with conflict as he questions why he is even going along with the extreme training, believing that continuing will not make Encrid learn the skill, and will likely only lead to his demise. Even if he doesn't die, he will become a cripple, but still he does not want to deny his request for some reason. Rem's mind finally shifts, convincing himself that Encrid knows the skill will work out fine, and that the protege is not acting stupidly. With this grim resolve, he takes decisive and violent action, finally striking Encrid with his hand on his chest. As he does that, Encrid's heart suddenly begins pumping violently, as he notes that this was the right choice. With a thundering sound from within, his heart explodes, and Rem realizes what he just did. The others jump in to save Encrid, but it's too late, as his heart beats for one final time. From a dark and empty place, the ferryman observes the exhausted Encrid and expresses his confusion, stating that he does not understand the events he is witnessing. He notes that the day's arduous training was not a wall. With a look of fierce defiance, Encrid declares that he chooses his own limitations and his own obstacles. The ferryman, left utterly bewildered by Encrid's bold statement, can only stare in disbelief and question what he's possibly thinking. Encrid, with a grim and knowing smile, reveals the final secret of his training. He confesses that he has been learning the heart of the superhuman by using the method he knows best, rather than the one he was taught. After coming back, Encrid admits to himself that while he can feel the effects of the strenuous training, he simply cannot do it on his own. With a resigned look, he remembers what Rem told him, that he needs to acknowledge his limits, and that it's okay to give up sometimes. Kneeling on the ground in solemn defeat, Encrid's thoughts reveal his unshakable resolve. He believes that to give up is to be satisfied with his current state, and to him, that might as well mean his death. With his sword glowing in the darkness, Encrid thinks about how he finds a perfect method for himself. Just like before, he focuses on a single point, a skill that previously allowed him to fight against a stronger enemy without fear. With his sword in hand, his thoughts return to the core of his training as he questions what he needs to learn the heart of the superhuman, and where he should even begin to master the powerful skill. He tries once again with Rem, but the same thing happens, and he dies once again. The mysterious ferryman, holding a glowing lantern, appears before Encrid and issues a direct and powerful challenge. He questions whether this is all Encrid can do, or if he will continue to fail with a heart that explodes. Kneeling in solemn understanding, Encrid explains the true nature of the heart of the superhuman, revealing that it allows a person to use the superhuman strength they only get in life or death situations at will. With his eyes glowing with determination, Encrid reaches a chilling conclusion. He believes that the skill should be easier to activate in an actual life or death situation, which he can summon at will, basically. The ferryman looks down at Encrid with a saddened expression, declaring that the boy has completely lost his mind. He questions whether Encrid has considered the immense pain he will suffer from his actions. With an unbreakable will and a glowing aura, Encrid declares that he is willing to endure any amount of pain if it allows him to continue walking his chosen path. This is his final, resolute answer. After regressing, Rem informs Encrid that the training will not happen today, With a resigned expression, he tells his protege to stop his solitary efforts and get some rest. The tension from the previous scenes has completely vanished. Encrid, with an unwavering will, tells Rem that the training will work if he just presses his heart harder. Rem, with a look of utter horror, questions whether Encrid is asking him to end his life. With a chilling finality, Encrid calmly confirms that he is in fact asking Rem to kill him. Rem, in a fit of rage and utter disgust, tells Encrid not to drag him into his insanity. Encrid, with a cold and calculated accusation, calls Rem